What's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Hope you're having a great start to your weekend and a great Saturday morning so far. Chances are some of you folks are waking up to some snow that typically don't see snow. There was some surprises overnight. There was some disappointments. Some surprises were areas around the Chattanooga area, areas of North Georgia. Heck, even Huntsville, Alabama saw a coating of snow. Atlanta got what I call snow bomb last night for about 15 or 20 minutes, where they had heavy snow that pretty much coated everything. I was not expecting Atlanta to get any accumulating snow. I don't think really anybody was. Charlotte was a little bit of a disappointment in surrounding areas. Areas of the PD of South Carolina are still snowing this morning. And then we're going to give you an update on what's going on with the winter storm, currently pretty much slamming areas of New England. Of course, there's no point in going very detailed into that because it's a now thing. It's happening right now. But I'm going to give you an update on that. I'm also going to give you a weekend forecast. And guys, stay tuned for tonight because we're going to start honing in on our next major winter storm for the mid areas of the country. And we're going to be talking about a whole other part of the country now. So if you guys have not subscribe, hit the subscribe button for me. Like the video if you like it. Appreciate all the support this month. It's about to wrap up January and it's been just absolutely wild. So before we jump to this, let's look at the radar really quick for areas of South Carolina. Now, it's snowing in these areas, snowing in Sumter. I saw a person post something out of Sumter on Twitter, like a mini blizzard going on. Snow being reported in Charleston. In fact, it's snowing good enough to put a coating on cars and elevated surfaces. In and around Florence, I saw where it looked like they might have got a couple inches of snow. Areas up in Kershaw near Jefferson, Pageland, South Carolina, got a couple inches of snow. And it is snowing in Wilmington. A little bit more snow up here near Greenville, North Carolina. This is pretty cool and very neat. These guys were kind of the last people to get it. They haven't really got the last couple storms, so winter is definitely sharing all the goods this year. So let's jump up to New York City and take a look at what we're seeing up here. And granted, by the time some of you guys watch this will not be actually going on, maybe necessarily, but Long Island's getting slammed. Got my buddy Aaron with Palmetto Chasers and Bryce that were on the Jersey Shore. And he just sent me a video, and it just looks like a blizzard. I mean, well over a foot of snow, and just looks like an absolute whiteout here on the Jersey Shore. And I'm sure similar scenes here on Long Island. And these just heavier banding features are just, pivoting northwest into southern New England, and will continue to do so. What I'm noticing is a lot of the models aren't printing out as these massive snow totals anymore, like over 2 feet. So I'll be interested to see how much snow these areas do get. But remember, it's not a 10-to-1 ratio falling in these areas. This is heavy snow in the teens and low 20s. Cape Cod is absolutely getting rocked here with heavy snow, blowing snow. You got these little swirls right here. This is for blowing snow. So it's a dry, powdery snow. So it's just blowing around. It's not like it's a wet, cement-like snow. But it's pouring in these areas. And I'll look at the super res right here. That really gives us an idea of how heavy this precipitation is. And you check out these heavy banding just offshore. And I'm wondering how much this pivots into Boston. But if you're in Boston right now, it is pretty much 8 a.m. Watch this area just offshore right here. See if it pivots into Boston. That is going to dump probably 2 to as much as 4 inch per hour rates if that makes it into your area. But, of course, my folks up here in Maine, I can't forget about you guys. Snow wrapping in here up into this area, and this is going to be a big event for you guys a little bit later in the day, but you can already see snow coming in as we're getting into later this morning. But this is a big event, guys. It really is. We'll take a look at the latest HRRR model as we're getting going here. If you don't know what time we're at, this is for 7 a.m., so this is in the past. This is for 8 a.m., 9 a.m., and that's what I'm talking about. Look at this heavier banding feature just offshore. And this, will come close, will flirt with Boston. But I'm really thinking if you don't get this heavier band right here that pivots into Boston and places like this, I'm not sure if you're going to get these 2 foot totals and things like that. But we'll watch. It's something interesting to watch. But we're getting into about the noon time frame. Still snowing back in New York City and New Jersey, maybe even Philadelphia. But I think it moves out from west to east very quickly as we get in the afternoon hours. And still snowing well into the afternoon for Boston. And in Maine, it's just getting cranked up. The entire state of Maine is getting snow here. And then it pulls away, and that's all she wrote. We take a look at, and let's see if I can get snowfall accumulations. I meant to already have that up. That's weird. we look at snowfall accumulations going all the way out to the next 18 hours. So this takes us all the way out to midnight tonight. So an additional maybe foot of snow could fall for these areas. In fact, the HRRR model wants to do another 1.5 feet of snow just south of Boston. So you're going to see some two foot totals in these areas. You really are. I'll be interested to see if anybody hits a 30-inch mark. It's going to be hard to measure the snow because it's just blowing around. But big event for the down east area in Maine. And yeah, just an all-out snowstorm. You guys are kind of used to this, but this is going to be impactful. In fact, you look at the winds. This is predicted wind gusts through midnight tonight. So I don't know what they've reported out on Cape Cod so far, but 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gust occasionally is possible. Anywhere from 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts is possible in Boston. And I mean, for all of New England, you're going to have strong winds. Strong winds are ongoing right now, but they really crank up here in the next couple hours for these areas. So be safe up there. There's not really a whole lot to talk about outside of that. Guys, I would love to do live streams for these events. My goal is to always be out in the middle of these, and I just couldn't. I could have went to this event, but honestly, y'all want me to be dead honest. I got 2 little girls. I got my wife, and I really just wanted to spend the weekend with them, and I did not feel like being gone the entire weekend. So I definitely just missed this system, and that's cool with me. There's going to be other systems to chase, but I do want to remind you, I do like to storm chase too, so I don't just talk about these. But in the future, guys, I'm not just to ramble on. I do hope to build a live stream with you guys, like someone like Ryan Hall or something like that. I'm never going to be have all that equipment like him, but I would love to, when I'm not out in these events, talk about it with you guys and break it down, especially these tornado outbreaks. You can never not have enough coverage for those kind of events, that's for sure. But anyways, let's get rolling here. This is the GFS. This is the latest one. We're just going to take a look at the weekend. We'll talk about deeper into the pattern tonight, and we'll start discussing that. But here we go. I'm way too far ahead already. We're getting into Saturday morning. Our snowstorm begins to pull away later tonight. And then we're getting into Sunday, and it's really quiet. Areas of the far northwest, there's a system that's going to swing through, dump some heavy snow for the mountain areas, and then maybe some rain for Seattle later tomorrow afternoon, evening. But outside of that, the country gets pretty quiet after this. I mean, there might be some snow showers that move through in areas of the Ohio Valley and the Pennsylvania tomorrow afternoon and evening. But outside of that, it gets quiet and it gets cold. And let's take a look at the temperatures here. This is for right now. We're getting into today. This is the GEFS ensemble, so it's definitely a reliable way to see how cold it's going to be. It's going to be absolutely freezing for the Ohio Valley, and then obviously in the northeast where it's snowing. Cold day in the southeast, with high pressure overhead and basically just an Arctic front that just moved through. A little bit more comfortable in the south central U.S. and even into the Midwest. It's rising into the 50s. And then, with the ridge out west, I mean, you have relatively, average to above average temperatures compared to normal. But we're getting into tonight, very cold night. In fact, it might be the coldest night this winter for some areas, depending on how much snow's on the ground. But this is going to be the morning that it's going to get very cold in Florida. I mean, you guys might get down to the 30s all the way into Miami, so it's going to be very chilly into Florida. It really is. And then cold across the southeast, and obviously bitter cold with all the snow pack on the ground in the northeast. And then cold where it always is cold up here in the upper Midwest. And then we get into tomorrow, and then it starts to warm up for everybody a little bit more, but still, well below freezing for the upper part of the country. But I think we got a warming trend coming up this weekend, but there's going to be a big-time battle of air masses that sets up next week that's going to set the tone for our next major system across the nation's heartland. So that's all I got, guys. Hope you all have a great day. I'll have another update this evening, and God bless everybody.